Hey everyone. Um, okay, it says we're live, so I am trusting that we are. It's so hard to tell. I decided to do this one on my laptop today, but it's so hard to tell if I'm live on my laptop. I just got lazy and I didn't feel like holding my phone, so I'm gonna just give a minute for people to jump on, and then I'm gonna dive into my and your energetic standards for money. I'm taking a risk today by drinking my turmeric coffee with, what is going on with my hair? My turmeric coffee with a white shirt. So I'm hoping that I don't spill it all over the place. If you're joining us, let me know where you're joining us from. I know we have quite a few members in the group. So if you're watching the replay, let me know that you're watching the replay and that you are joining us from where. Okay, so did you know that there are energetic standards for money that you live by? And honestly, I did not know this, but we get to decide what they are. And once we begin to understand that we are completely in control of what these are, we free ourselves to really experience the wealth that we desire. So, for example, this morning on our Soul Business Accelerator, the program that is mine, that I run, Your Roadmap to Six Figures, we had a Q&A call, and I do weekly Q&A calls in there. And this one went about 2 hours. That's why I'm a little bit late jumping on here. But I talked about my money story and how, when I started my business, I really was living in this story unconsciously that I was waiting for somebody else to create wealth for me. That, I grew up with a single mom and my parents got divorced when I was 7. My dad really didn't pay child support at all. But what I witnessed, she got married 3 times. And what I witnessed was that when she was married, we had money and we lived in these amazing houses and we drove the nice cars and we had the nice things. And then when she would get divorced, we had nothing. We lived in tiny little apartments and we drove shitty cars that I remember we had this like orange fucking Volvo that was like 20 years old. It was this tank and I was so embarrassed by it. It was falling apart, rusted everywhere. And she would drop me off at middle school and I was humiliated and I would have her drop me off blocks away from school so that nobody would see me get dropped off in this piece of shit car. And then she'd get married again and we had money. All of a sudden I moved schools to like the nice neighborhood and we had the nice things and we traveled and we did all the things and she would get divorced and again we would end up in a shitty rental house. And so my association with money was that men create wealth and it's up to us to marry someone who will create wealth for us. And that shocks the hell out of me because I was always a really independent person and always felt like I would never rely on a man for anything. I traveled the world by myself. I moved countries by myself. I skydive, I bungee jump, I do all these things. But yet my association with money was that someone else is going to create it for me. And that was like the way that I thought for so many years. And it all shifted when I was diagnosed with cancer. And I read this book. I don't know, those of you who've read it, who's read Get Rich, Lucky Bitch by Denise Duffield Thomas? She's amazing. And that book actually shifted my whole view of money and the fact that I do not need to wait for somebody else to create wealth in my life. I can do this on my own. And my driver, one of my whys, was I was not in a happy marriage and I was really staying because I didn't feel like I could provide the life for my kids that I wanted to. And there was no way in hell I was going to let my kids go through what I went through. I was going to sacrifice my own happiness, my own life to give my kids the life that they wanted. And this book shifted for me. I don't have to wait for someone else to create this wealth. I'm going to do it on my own. And I have. And so it comes back to our energetic standards for money. I've had to do a fuck ton of work around my money mindset and, what is coming into my life versus what is going out of my life. And 5 years ago, if someone would have told me that my monthly outgoings in my business would be $25,000 a month, which means I have to earn $25,000 a month at minimum to even break even, I would have said, what in the fuck are you talking about? Like, I didn't even have an idea as to what that amount of money coming in every month would feel like, let alone having $25,000 a month in bills to pay. I didn't know what that was, but my energetic standard for money has increased over the years as I have grown. So what's an energetic standard for money? Let's just talk about a few of mine so that you can see what I mean. So I have an energetic standard for how much money is always in my bank account. It never drops below X amount. It's a rule that I learned from a coach of mine. It's called a warrior line. And I honor it by never allowing my bank account balance to go below that amount, okay? Another energetic standard that I have is that clients make their payments, and I honor that by having a process in place with my team to handle those times where a client's payment doesn't go through like clockwork. One more that I think you'll really love is I have the energetic standard that money flows into me and my business every day, and that money flows in from multiple sources. So it's not just one way that money is coming in, but it's from multiple ways that money is coming in. So for example, and this will shift and raise as you shift and raise and step into a new way of being through the work that you do. And I help you do this inside my program, Soul Business Accelerator. We don't become six-figure business owners or million-dollar business owners overnight. It happens energetically as we work to raise our energetic levels and tolerate less and less. So for example, when I first started, my energetic minimum for my bank account was I never let my checking account go below $2,500 for my business. Right? I never let my bank account go below $2,500. And I had a savings account as well. And I never let that go below $5,000 or $10,000. I can't really remember which one it was, but it was one of those. Now, my energetic standard is very different. It's more like in the $300,000 and the $500,000. But that didn't happen overnight. It's happened over time as I've stepped into new ways of being and believing. My energetic standards have increased as well. So why am I being transparent with you about this? Because I think that consistently experiencing things like money in the bank and clients paying on time and their payments coming through and money flowing in, it does not happen by accident. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens by decision, okay? I didn't wait until they were happening. I made a decision that this is what I'm going to expect and accept as my normal. And then I started taking action to honor and support those standards. Okay. So this means taking massive responsibility and ownership for my life when it's not easy, when it's not convenient, when it's not comfortable. In fact, it's usually uncomfortable as fuck. I made the decision to have a warrior line years ago when I was continually stressed. I was stressed out, juggling like how to pay my bills. This was in the early days of my coaching business. And I made the decision that clients making their payments on time was going to happen because it was no longer acceptable for me to feel betrayed at someone ghosting on their commitment. So I made the decision that money flows in every day and from multiple sources because I don't like the feeling of stressing out about when money would come in each month. So really, the secret to living the lifestyle that your business is going to give you is in you deciding that you want it and how you want it. It's not about waiting or wishing or pinning your hopes on someone else changing so that you can start owning your worth. There really is nothing standing between you and these same energetic standards that I have for money. There's nothing standing in between you and those. And once you decide that this is your standard, you can't undecide it. It's done. It's locked in your heart and soul. It's now who you are. And you'll find that your reality will quickly catch up because that's how universal law works. You start to see the world through different eyes. You start to see your business through different eyes, you start to know and embody and understand that you are worthy of making money like you've never made it before. You are worthy of transforming other people's lives, of being that transformational catalyst for other people. You are worthy of things turning around for you. You are worthy of having hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, in your bank account. You are worthy of financial freedom. You are worthy of time freedom. You are worthy of all these things. And this is about creating a life and a business that lights you up exactly how you want on your terms. So 2 books that I recommend. One, Get Rich Lucky Bitch by Denise Duffield Thomas, who I've had the honor of speaking alongside of her on stage down in Australia a couple of years ago. And the other one is a book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you don't know his work, he is all about creating a new way of being. And let's say you're not earning 6 figures in your business right now, or multiple 6 figures, or wherever you're at. To be a 6-figure business owner, you have to make different decisions, because what got you to where you are now is not going to get you to where you want to be at that next level of your life. So we have to step into new ways of being, which means reprogramming our subconscious mind, hiring mentors, hiring programs who will hold us accountable, who will hold us as powerful when we don't believe we can do it. And if that is something that you're looking for, I hold a very powerful container, and I will absolutely help you get your business to 6 figures and multiple 6 figures. Send me a message, and you can jump on a call with my team to see if Soul Business Accelerator is right for you. It's essentially a roadmap to 6 figures. It's a roadmap to $8,000, $10,000 months, and it works time and time again. I hope that this was helpful for you. As always, you are worthy because you are, and I love you. I'm here for you, and I'll see you on the next live.